What's up guys, Zed here bringing you a match against PenguinX from Battle for Charity. This was an Ubers game we had, and it was probably the best game that I took during the entire Battle for Charity thing, so it should be a good one. I hope you guys enjoy. Before we started though, I just address a few things about the text edit I used last time. I am probably going to keep using it, but you know, due to the mixed reactions, I won't use it that often. Most likely what I'll do is I'll tone it down to where I just want the main things like focus sash activating to saying living with a smidgen, sturdy activating to say living with a smidgen and stuff like that. Just, you know, some mainstays I'll probably keep, but I'll probably clean it up and see what I can do for you guys. Not make it too over the top, and make it just generally acceptable. So I'm going to lead off with Giratina, and I expected him to lead with Groudon, which is why I wanted to lead with Giratina, get my Will-O-Wisp on the Groudon straight off the bat. And I knew that if I did lead with Kyogre, he would get his beneficial weather up first, so it was more beneficial for me to lead with Giratina over the Kyogre, which I could bring in later. But he leads off with Palkia, expecting my Kyogre lead, and he's going to make an over-prediction on the very first turn of the game. He's going to expect me to predict the Dragon move and go to Ferrothorn, but I'm actually going to stay in Will-O-Wisp him, and he hits me with a Fire Blast, which is going to do nothing to me. So at this point, I don't see much option with Giratina apart to Dragon Tail out the Palkia. And seeing as he switched out, he's probably giving me an indication that he's choiced. Most likely he's going to be Scarfed, because I think a Specs Fire Blast may have done a little bit more to me, but it's good to know that that thing's now burned, so if it does pack any physical potential, it's going to be easy to get rid of. So he brings it in again after the... Well, he doesn't bring it in again, he brings in Fortress with Dragon Tails out to it, and I expect the Draco Meteor on that turn, which is why I rest. And by resting, it means his special attack would be lowered, and I'd be able to, you know, take the next hit or bring something else in to take another hit. But in the end, he doesn't. He just goes straight out to Fortress, and I'm guessing he wants to set up his hazards at this point. So he is going to set up one layer of Toxic Spikes, and Toxic Spikes is something that isn't that useful on my team. The only two pokes that really are hurt by it are Kyogre and Arceus. So I'm going to bring in Kyogre here. This is Specs Modest Kyogre, and that is a Water Spout at full power. That is a Palkia which 4 times resists water, and just take a look at how much that did. That is how powerful the thing is. It's really, really freaking powerful. So I'm going to go into Ferrothorn at this point, because I'm pretty sure he's not going to overpredict there. His Palkia is at low health, so he wants to get the most benefit out of it as he can, and therefore he's going to go for the Spatial Rend, which Ferrothorn can take easily. Now, I could have protected to stall out his burn, but I thought that if I throw some Leech Seed out, just on the off chance he wants to switch, it's going to be beneficial to hit anything else coming in. Nothing on his team resists the Leech Seed, and you know, just get a little bit more health. It turns out to be really great, because in come Fortress, and because he is now Leech Seeded, his Sturdy is broken. So if I want to, I can go back out to Kyogre, which I do, and this point I was deciding whether to go to Kyogre to take the 1 layer of poison, or to go to Arceus to take the 1 layer of poison, because I know he's going to go for the 2nd layer, so I want one of my guys to have at least just normal poison on them. And I think that because he still has Groudon, it's much more beneficial that I want my weather user to stay alive for longer. And to be honest, Arceus I don't plan on using until the end of the game, because it really is an end game sweeper. So I'm going to keep Kyogre in. And at this point, obviously, his Fortress cannot take a Water Spout. His Sturdy is broken, so he's going to have to switch. He's going to go to his Palkia as Death Fodder. I guess he didn't really have anything else he could have gone to. Nothing on his team wants to take a Water Spout at this point, and Palkia was really the only thing that he could go to. So what he's going to do here is he's going to set it up so that his Giratina can take a Water Spout. By setting up the Sun, he's going to remove that power boost that I get, and his Giratina O can now come in, take the Water Spout very nicely. Only does about a quarter. He's not that defensive, but with the Sun up, Water Spout's power is really going to be diminished. So I'm going to switch out here, and I'm thinking he's going to want to go for some kind of Shadow Force maybe, or even, I don't know, a Draco Meteor. But I'm not quite sure what I don't know. He goes for the Hidden Power Fire, expecting me to go to Ferrothorn, expecting the Dragon move. I go to my own Giratina simply... I'm not quite sure why I went to it. I mean, I guess I could go for like a Will-O-Wisp or something, or I don't really know. I just wanted to Dragon Tail him out perhaps, but it comes in. and I go for the Will-O-Wisp. It misses the Fortress, which I guess in the long run is not going to make that big of a difference. Fortress can be taken out relatively easily by a Kyogre Surf, as long as I bring it in safely, so not going to make that huge a difference. It's just a kind of a pain, because at this point he can still get his health back to Sturdy, and I think after this turn he's just going to be out of the Sturdy range, but he's going to be able to lay down one layer of spikes before he either lets his Fortress die or before he decides to switch to something else to take the Surf. So I've put him in a really tricky situation here. Kyogre is seeming to be a really giant threat to his team, and he has to go to something to take a Surf. So he's going to go to his Giratina O, and that thing is not going to take the Surf too kindly now that my rain is set back up. It's a modest Specs hit, and he's going to live down with, you know, around a quarter of health. I know Giratina O is probably going to be outspeeding me. I'm not quite sure about base stats and whatever, but I think the safest thing to go to is Ferrothorn. If he does want to hit me with a Dragon move, that's fine, I can take it easily, and if he doesn't, well, hey, he's going to hit me with a Shadow Sneak, which he does do, and Iron Barbs are going to activate on him regardless, so it's going to be an easy way to get rid of him. In any case, I see the switch coming. I know he's most likely going to go to Groudon to set up the Sun, then bring in Reshiram to threaten out my Fortress. So instead of staying in and setting up Leech Seed or whatever I would usually do, I'm going to predict the switch and I'm going to go back to my Dialga. Now this puts me in a strong position because I can threaten him out with any kind of special move. He doesn't know whether I'm Specs or whether I'm Scarf, that he's going to be afraid in that case, and if I do threaten with the Draco Meteor, then he's going to want to scout, so he's going to go to Giratina O, and I'm actually going to go for the Fire Blast. This Dialga carries Fire Blast, being on a rain team, but just on the off chance it comes across Sun teams, Fire Blast is going to be very beneficial for it, so that's what I'm going to lock myself into, and he knows that I'm most likely choiced, which is why he can easily switch in Reshiram here. The Sun is now up, and I do not want to risk the switch to Ferrothorn, because he may predict that and go for the Blue Flare, that or the Fusion Flare. I'm not quite sure which one he's packing, but he's going to go for the Dragon Pulse on my Giratina. Giratina really wasn't that useful to me anymore. His main special attack is left are Arceus and this guy, is what I believe, so I'm just going to leave Giratina to die. What it does allow me to scout is the fact that the Dragon Pulse kills me. I don't think a Scarf Reshiram would be able to kill a normal, you know, Giratina like that, so I'm thinking he's Spexed, added to the fact that his Palkia was Scarfed, so I'm thinking he wouldn't have two Scarfers, one of them Specs, most likely Reshiram. So I'm going to switch into Ferrothorn there, as he also double switches to his Groudon, and not the best of matchups for me, so I'm going to come out to Kyogre, and he's going to bring Groudon back. Go to his Arceus, which is, I guess, the only thing he has left to take a hit from Kyogre at this point. Even though Groudon and Kyogre came on the same turn, I believe, what's going to happen is, because he already had Sun set up, just the rain's going to go up. But Surf, as you can see, is something that Arceus does not want to take. That is going to do a fuck ton. He's going to live with a smidgen, but he's going to kill me off with a Judgment. I knew he wasn't going to set up there. Even if he recovered, another Surf would kill him, and he really had no other options there apart from to go for the kill. So I'm going to bring in Arceus. Looking at him being a Steel type, I'm thinking he's a more defensive Arceus variant, and therefore I'm going to go for the Brick Break to kill him, knowing that even if I go for the Extreme Speed, it's probably not going to do too much to the incoming Fortress. So Brick Break is going to be my move of choice. And at this point I'm thinking if he stays in with Fortress, tries to set up another layer of spikes, that's fine. I can go out to Rayquaza, threaten him out with a Fire Punch, and hopefully bring in the Reshiram, and hopefully bait him into bringing Reshiram and therefore outrage it on the switch. But he's going to go to Arceus on the double switch, and so I've brought in Rayquaza, he's in with Arceus. Really the only situation that I want to deal with here is getting rid of him. I don't care if he switches back to Fortress predicting the Extreme Speed, but it's what I'm going to go for, and he is down. So my Rayquaza is choice banded, so I'm now locked into Extreme Speed, which isn't the best scenario for this Groudon. Groudon is usually very physically bulky, and therefore I want to go to Dialga here, and hopefully he's not going to predict that and go for Earthquake. But I believe what he does here is he goes for the Dragon Tail, which is going to end up missing. I don't think that mattered too much in the long run. It wouldn't have done that much to Dialga, but it is going to allow me to have a beneficial not switching, but is going to have the advantage that I have a clean Dialga in against his Groudon. He still thinks that I'm either, you know, I'm choiced in some way, and that Draco Meteor should alert him to the fact that I'm Scarfed, because otherwise it would have done quite a bit more to the Fortress. But he does predict it nicely, goes to Fortress to take it, and at this point I'm thinking, fuck it, I'm going to Rayquaza again. I want that Fire Punch on the Fortress, I want the thing dead, but he's going to double switch to Groudon again, so we're in this interlocked war, and not good currently, not happy with what's going on. So I'm going to go for the Outrage at this point. I'm thinking, even if he goes for a Stone Edge, it's not stabbed, and even I do have a decent amount of HP, so I should live it. I do live 1, and at this point Outrage is a 2-hit KO on that Groudon, so he has no option but to switch out. He's going to go into Fortress, and as long as I get 2 more Outrages, then I'm pretty sure with Choice Band, this Outrage is going to be able to take out the Fortress from that range. It is going to be enough. Hope I don't get confused, which I do believe I don't get confused on this turn. The Outrage is going to be a clean KO on the Fortress, and that's going to be really nice because it's going to allow me to save this Rayquaza for later. I have that Reshiram, which is still in the way. I'm thinking Dialga as a Scarf Dialga is going to be able to outspeed the Reshiram at some point, but if that fails, if Dialga does go down at some point, I'm going to need the extreme speed from Rayquaza, so I'm going to switch to Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn, really the last guy on my team who I need right now. He's going to go for any move which could be potentially threatening on me, so I'm just going to stay in here and pretty much just get my face wrecked with a Specs Blue Flare in the sun, no less. So at this point I can easily bring in Dialga. Of course I am Scarfed, so I'm going to outspeed him, and I'm thinking I'm going to go for the Outrage here. I probably could have gone for the Draco over it, thinking about it, because Groudon does come in and take this Outrage pretty much like it's nothing, shrugs it off its shoulders, and says, like, you know what, hey Dialga, I can take those all day every day. I'm like, okay, you can do that. So he does take the Outrage nicely. I'm not going to be able to kill him with a second one, which means he's going to be able to revenge me with an Earthquake. Even though he is slower, it's technically a revenge, I think. I'm not sure. I think if something's locked into Outrage, that counts. But yeah, no, it's not a revenge. I didn't kill anything. God, stop being an idiot, Zed. But at this point, I'm thinking, surely a Life Orb Extreme Speed from an Arceus and a Choice Banded Extreme Speed from a Rayquaza should be enough to finish off the Reshiram. So I'm going to E-Speed the Groudon. That thing's going to go down, no problem. I do have Choice Band, obviously, and I think I'm Adamant, so I'm packing some power, packing some heat. In comes Reshiram. He's going to destroy my life with whatever move he chooses to lock himself into. At this point, it really doesn't matter if he's Scarfed or Spexed, though I do know he is Spexed, because I have priority on Extreme Speed, and judging from how much the Banded Extreme Speed did, I'm pretty much certain that a Stab Extreme Speed from a Life Orb Arceus is going to be able to come in, finish off that Reshiram, and I think that is his last, so that's going to be able to allow me to take the game. So really intense match there. Definitely lots of predictions going on, lots of double switches. His Fortress was very difficult for me to get around. I just had to find some kind of way to push him into a situation there where hopefully I would be able to take it out, but did in the end, and managed to push past that team. So I did. This team I put together was kind of random, I guess. It was I just kind of saw a bunch of dudes who looked like they could work synergetically well in Rain. I brought Giratina O as a physically defensive thing to take on normal form Arceus, and Ferrothorn just because it's really good in Ubers. I really don't mind using Ferrothorn in Ubers. I mean, in Standard it's just a bitch, but in Ubers, you know, it's not too difficult to take out as long as it's not on a Rain team, which mine was. But you know, there's a lot more sun around in Ubers, so it's easier to play around, but it still does a hell of a good job. So yeah, there you go. That's going to be today's match. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, then please leave a like rating on the video. That will help me out enormously. If you didn't see the previous video, then click on the screen right now. I will take you to it, and you can see me in the other crazy match I had this week against Logan. Otherwise, check out my Twitter, my Facebook pages, which you can follow and like respectively. And that is going to be all for today's upload. So I will see you guys next time on Saturday, probably. See you guys later. Bye.